Yo, have you ever stopped to think, what if some of those mythical sea monsters weren't just sailor tales? I mean, for centuries, people have sworn they saw something out there, creatures that science can't quite explain. Today, we're diving deep into 10 ocean legends that might have been way more real than we ever thought. Half of them are ancient myths, the other half, real-life discoveries that'll blow your mind. So grab your life vest, we're heading straight into the deep end. Everyone knows Godzilla, right? The giant lizard that can melt cities with a scream. But here's the twist, that monster wasn't born in Hollywood. It was born from pain. Back in 1954, Japan released Godzilla, a symbol of nuclear fear after Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Godzilla was a warning, a walking disaster showing what happens when humans mess with power they can't control. But over the years, Godzilla evolved. He went from city destroyer to protector, taking on beasts like Mothra, King Ghidorah, even King Kong. That spiky back, that earth-shaking roar, iconic. Japan even trademarked his roar. But check this, scientists actually found fossils of a real giant named Patagodaton majorum. Over 36 meters long and heavier than 10 elephants. So maybe the movies didn't invent the legend, maybe nature did. Turns out, before film turned him into a symbol of destruction, Earth had already written its own version of the real Godzilla. Remember that beast Hercules fought, the snake with way too many heads? That's the Hydra. Cut one head off and two grow right back, straight nightmare fuel. In the myths, this thing was deadly, its breath could kill, its blood was pure poison. But here's the kicker, a real Hydra exists today. Not a monster, but a tiny water creature only a few millimeters long. And dude, it's basically immortal. In 2015, researchers tried to kill it every way they could. No dice. Every single time, the Hydra just regenerated, staying young forever. Its cells literally don't age. So yeah, the ancient Greeks might have exaggerated the horror part. But they were accidentally describing one of the most insane life forms on Earth. A real creature that refuses to die. In Norse mythology, there's a monster so massive it circles the entire planet. The Midgard Serpent, or Jörmungandr. Legend says it's one of Loki's kids, thrown into the ocean by Odin himself. But instead of drowning, the serpent grew and grew until it wrapped around the world and bit its own tail. When the end of days comes, Ragnarök, Thor faces it head-on. He kills the serpent, but its venom kills him too. Epic rights. But maybe it wasn't all fantasy. Scientists found fossils of an ancient snake-like sea beast called Paleophis colossus. Over 50 feet long, about 2 school buses back to back. If early people found those bones, they probably thought they'd uncovered proof of the serpent that encircled Earth. Imagine this. You're sailing through a narrow strait, whirlpools on one side, a 6-headed monster on the other. Welcome to the nightmare that is Scylla. In Greek mythology, Scylla lived opposite the deadly whirlpool Charybdis. No matter which way sailors turned, death was waiting. 6 long necks, each ending with razor-sharp teeth, she'd snatch men straight off the deck. But she wasn't always a monster. Scylla was once a gorgeous nymph, until Poseidon's jealous wife cursed her. One bath in poisoned water, and boom, she became a creature of horror. Some say her legend was inspired by real sightings, giant squids, oarfish, weird shadows in dangerous waters. To ancient sailors, that was all the proof they needed. So maybe Scylla wasn't one single beast. Maybe she was a collection of every terrifying thing the ocean ever showed them. Alright, this one's legendary. For centuries, folks in Scotland have sworn they've seen something lurking in the depths of Loch Ness. A massive creature with a long neck and dinosaur vibes. We've had sonar scans, cameras, expeditions, yet no solid proof. So yeah, scientists say it's hoaxes or misidentifications. But here's the wild part, creatures just like that actually did exist. Meet the Plesiosaurus, a marine reptile with flippers like paddles and a neck longer than a giraffe's. It ruled the oceans for 150 million years before vanishing with the dinosaurs. So maybe Nessie isn't a survivor, maybe she's a memory. Someone probably found ancient bones, didn't understand them, and boom, the legend was born. Even today, tourists stare at the water hoping to spot that shadowy figure. It's less about what's real and more about what we want to believe. Early 2000s, Japanese sailors spot something haunting the frozen waters near Antarctica. Long, white, human-shaped, with arms like a mermaid's nightmare. They called it the Ningen, literally, the human. Photos started surfacing, and yeah, most were fake. But the question still stands, could something like that really exist? Antarctica is massive, untouched, and filled with secrets. Scientists have a few theories. Some think it could have been a distant relative of a swimming sloth. Yep, that's a real thing. A prehistoric creature with long arms perfect for gliding underwater. Others say it might have been an ancient shark species called a kill lamna. A silent predator that vanished 66 million years ago, or maybe it didn't. Sharks have survived every extinction so far. So who's to say one didn't adapt, hiding in the frozen dark, waiting under the ice? The Ningen might not just be a myth, it might be the ocean's way of reminding us how little we actually know. Japan once believed whales were sacred gifts from the ocean. They honored them with prayers and rituals. But when greed took over and whaling became business, something changed. And legend says the whales noticed. The Bakujira or ghost whale is said to rise from the storm. A glowing skeleton gliding through rain and lightning. Harpoons pass straight through it. And wherever it appears, famine and fire follow. Fishermen claimed it was born from human guilt. The ocean's way of saying, you've gone too far. And maybe they were right. By the 1960s, humans had wiped out almost 3 million whales. Today, as the seas heat up and plastic fills the waves, the legend of the ghost whale doesn't sound so crazy. Maybe it's not haunting Japan anymore. Maybe it's haunting all of us, a reminder that nature always collects its debts. So yeah, maybe not all myths are fiction. Some are memories, some are warnings, and some are still out there waiting beneath the waves. Because when you stare into the ocean long enough, sometimes it stares back. Follow for more.